So, good morning. I'm thrilled to be here today for this artist talk, where we will embark an artistic journey together. And first and foremost, I would like to thank Raffaella for hosting this event. After spending a lot of time by myself during pandemic, it is really refreshing to be around a lot of people who have passion for art as much as I have. So today I'm delighted to take you through my artistic endeavors with particular focus on my Legoscape series. I'll be telling you about my earlier works, which were inspired by Lego. Then these early creations laid the foundation for my Legoscape series. Furthermore, I'll provide a glimpse into my creative process, which I never showed before. So from initial spark of inspiration to meticulous execution, I'll reveal the BTS, the behind the scenes. And lastly, I'll talk about my alternative mediums beyond the traditional painting, such as tufting and sculpture works. Yes. So I started my artistic path at Cornell University in 2003, where I got my BFA degree in painting. But actually, I only worked with black and white paintings when I was in school because I had fear of using colors. So I overcame this fear when I went to Parsons to study fashion design. And as a design intern, I had to gather all these different kinds of fabrics. And then I was exposed to a lot of various colors. So I was like, oh, it's amazing. I'm not going to use black and white anymore and start using colors. So after graduating from Parsons, I did briefly as a freelance illustrator where I worked with watercolors. So in 2016, where I started my Lego series. Oh, in 2016, I came back to Korea and my journey with watercolors naturally continued. And it was during this period that my initial inspiration emerged, the Lego. And Lego, with its inherent sense of joy and order, embodied the very qualities that I sought to manifest in my life. So it became a symbol of fun and structured world I craved in reality. And it sparked deep passion within me. So through the deliberate use of colors, I aim to convey specific moods and emotions that resonate with unique structure. So color became a very powerful tool in invoking desired atmosphere and imbuing the Lego creations with a sense of life and individuality. To, to further expand my artistic horizon, I began to experiment with new medium, that is metallic pigment. So this addition allowed me to use a subtle nuance in colors, creating a dynamic interplay of shades and tones depending on the viewer's perspective. So if you see on one side it's red, or like if you move, it becomes pink. So it had a very various reflections. So I thought this was similar, reflecting like on human emotions. So nuanced facial expressions can convey different emotions on a person's face. So I thought these paintings reflected those. And then in an effort to maintain a sense of organization and references with my series, I titled each work with a reference number. So the title is the reference number of the actual Lego pieces that I painted. Yep. Oh, so the 2017 is the year that I created the Legoscape series, which is what I'm known for. And the name derived from the combination of Lego, Cityscape, and Itscape. This amalgamation encapsulated my yearning to escape to a utopia where everything exists in perfect order. So it became a visual manifestation of my desire for a harmonious and structured world. During this period, I made a deliberate shift in my artistic medium. So I moved away from watercolors to acrylic and oil, and this change granted me a greater control and versatility in my process, allowing me to work in bigger scale and explore new possibilities. So acrylic paint allowed me to use more vibrant and more dynamic palette. And in parallel with the shift in my medium, my artistic style also evolved. So I moved away from more literal representation into more simplified forms. And you can see all the geometric shapes. By distilling the architectural elements of Lego structures into their essence, I aim to create a visual language that speaks to the core essence of these buildings. So through the Legoscape series, I sought to transport myself and the audience to the world where imagination reigns supreme and where structures are not merely buildings, but gateways to the world of possibilities. It is my hope that within this utopian escape, viewers can find solace, inspiration, and renewed appreciation for beauty of order and vibrant colors. So this was my first exhibition displaying Legoscape series. And the title was Legoscape. So I had the opportunity to showcase two distinct bodies of work, Legoscaping, which is the city, the long one, and the Legoscape. Legoscaping represents an ongoing project that continues to evolve and expand, much like the cities we live in. So it serves as a visual metaphor for the constant state of change and growth that characteristics our urban environment. With each new canvas added to the series, the Legoscaping project captures the dynamic nature of cityscapes, reflecting ever-shifting landscapes we encounter in daily lives. On the other hand, Legoscape focused on specific aspect of Legoscaping series. It zooms in a part of, can you guess which part I painted actually?
Which one in the first?
Yeah, the first one. It's, yeah, that part is actually, over here. So it zooms in and simplifies the form and then strips away the intricacy of the structure and distills them into core elements. So this series emphasized shift to color and form, allowing the vibrant hues and simplified shapes to take center stage. And this Legoscape series explores the intersection of abstraction and architecture, creating a visual language that transcends traditional boundaries.
I can help you here.
Okay, I keep going backward.
So you can forget about
okay.
It's okay.
So this was Legoscaping series in 2019, and as you can see, the colors evolved, it became more vibrant, and I added one more panel, so the city is growing, ever-changing, evolving atmosphere. So in 2020, driven by my pursuit of the perfect utopia, I embarked a new phase of Legoscaping series. So these are Legoscaping series 2, and I changed the medium from oil to acrylic to make them more perfect, more straight. And using masking tape, they became straight, and just really pushed myself to draw like the perfect city. And this also happened. This is my first show at Kong Gallery in Samcheong-dong, where I'm represented exclusively. So in 2020, as the world grappled with the beginning of the pandemic, I found myself confronted with a sense of loss of control. And control is always really important in my work. And it was my first time really feeling I can't control when this pandemic's gonna end, and I didn't know what's gonna happen to everyone. So this realization really influenced my artistic process and led me to shift in my painting style. So the first one is Legoscaping 3, and this was the first time I actually let the paint seep out the masking tape, and I didn't fix when there were imperfections in the work. So this represented my loss of control and how I just admitted it. And the restriction on travel during the height of pandemic also posed a challenge for me because I always get my inspiration by taking photos of where I'm going when I'm walking around the city and taking pictures. And since I couldn't go anywhere, I just had to take photos of my work in the car. So these are my neighborhood in New Jersey, where I stay most of my time. And so feeling entrapped and confined, I thought to get out of, I tried to move myself out of escape from the reality. So I made my sculptures. So part of all these buildings were actually part of the Legoscaping series. And I let them escape to the real world we live in. And this is also ongoing project. So now it has 9 panels. Now I added some city, New York City, and some buildings from Seoul as well. And in addition to the Legoscaping series, I ventured into a new body of work called Legoscaped with a D, which represents a departure from the recognizable form found in Legoscape. These series moved into more complex and abstract composition, allowing for greater exploration. So with Legoscape, I thought to create artworks that truly transcend reality and offer departure from the familiar. So by moving away from explicit architecture forms, the series takes more enigmatic and mysterious quality. And this departure from the recognizable form found in Legoscape allows for deeper exploration of emotions and subconscious. And during this time of pandemic, with accompanying fear and uncertainty, I find myself drawn to use more darker colors such as black, which I haven't really used before in my work. So it was the reflection of realization that in face of global crisis, humankind is ultimately fragile and powerless in the grand scheme of the natural world. And last year, in 2022, as the pandemic still persisted, Into the Void exhibition sought to evoke a sense of hope and optimism amidst of challenging times. So this exhibition showcased two new more series, Into the Void and Reflection, each offering a unique perspective on contemplation and self-reflection. So Into the Void series emerged from my exploration of meditation practice and the concept of letting go. As I delved deeper into practice of meditation, I discovered the power of embracing emptiness and surrendering myself to the void. In this series, I intentionally emphasized the empty space within the compositions, inviting viewers to embark on their own introspective journey. And by providing a focal point for contemplation, I aim to create a space for viewers to temporarily escape from the realities of the external world. The reflection series reflect the idea of self-reflection and introspection. The symmetrical composition served as a metaphor for the need to take time to look inward and examine one's thought. By encouraging viewers to engage with the painting, the series invite deeper understanding of oneself. And the color palette for the Into the Void exhibition took more hopeful and optimistic tone, reflecting a sense of anticipation for eventual end of pandemic. And in addition to the painting, I expanded my exploration into more three-dimensional work, such as Composition 1. And this sculpture is crafted in FRP, which is fiber reinforced plastic. And it served as a physical manifestation of concept of the void. By choosing the work to work with lack of color, the sculpture symbolizes the emptiness and limitless possibilities inherent in the void. So now I'm gonna share how I work, the process behind my work. And I'm really shy about sharing my sketches because I'm a perfectionist and I just like to show finished work. But Raffaella asked me to
Thank
share.
you for this.
And here
I think they're beautiful and full of life, and yeah, you can really see the action, right?
So I purposely use markers to sketch them because thinner lines it makes me more restrictive in my way of paintings and way of drawing. So I always take pictures with my phone, then I transfer them to my. Oh, you can go to.
Can we say it to me?
Welcome. Okay. So I take the photo, then I transfer into pen and paper, and then I move back to Illustrator. And then when I'm stuck, I print them out and play them at like paper dolls and trying to figure out the composition. Then I go back to the Illustrator. Then I make each coordinate on the paper. So I sketch them in real size. So they can move exactly onto the canvas. And then I mix all the colors separately and then use masking tape to color them in. And then yeah, then this is
Ta-da.
the end result. So lastly, I want to talk about works that are not paintings. So I constantly try to explore new mediums and techniques to push the boundaries of my work. So I've explored various materials, including wood, aluminum, tufting, FRP. So, so my initial attempt, I decided to work with wood, which allowed me to have complete control over the colors because I made each acrylic paint and I painted them myself. But it lacked the sturdiness that I wanted, so then I moved on to creating aluminum sculptures. But then I couldn't paint them by my hands, so I had to get the factory to use car paint. But then they didn't really exactly match the paint colors that I created, so I had another problem with that. So then I moved on to FRP. Yeah, so they became more dimensional. You can really see the 3D, the the depth and dimensionality. And like the Lego pieces and puzzle pieces, you can move them separately or they can be a whole city. And I mix the colors, so I'm back to matching colors with my paintings. And for my upcoming show in August at Cone Gallery, I'll be returning to using wood as a medium for my artwork. So I'm using a different kind of wood, which is more sturdy. I think it's called cherry wood. So I'll be creating a bench inspired by one of the buildings in Seoul. And the bench will not only serve as artistic sculpture, but also invite viewers to engage with the artwork. So they can like sit on it and have more immersive experience. And lastly, yeah, this is the one that Raffaella fell in love with at the art fair. And I brought a smaller work over there. You can see after. So since I always work with very straight lines, I wanted to use something more organic to create a cityscape. I love how everyone's going. Yeah, so that's it for my.
Do you want to tell them how you
Oh
make
yeah.
it?
Oh yeah, it's called tufting. You use a tufting gun and there's 3 different types of style. It's cut and then loop, which is more flatter and cuts a little higher. And then I do it by hand using mohair. So there are like 3 different levels. So it really has a dimensional quality to it. So yeah, thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much.